Good afternoon, everyone. We will call to order the Oxnard City Council Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee report or meeting for May 14th, 2024. Madam Clerk, if we can have a roll call and posting of the agenda information, please.
Member Madrigal?
Here.
Member Zaragoza?
Here.
Chair McDonald?
Here.
We have a quorum. The agenda for this meeting was posted on the City Hall Bulletin Board on May 8th, 2024.
Thank you very much. And if you'd all please rise and join me in saluting the flag of our nation. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Takes us to item B, public comments on items not on the agenda, and this would be things that would be under the purview of this committee. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers?
Chair McDonald, there's no speakers virtually or in person for this item.
Okay. And Chief, I understand you would be willing to make some brief comments about accidents in the last few days?
Certainly.
This is under the public comments.
Certainly. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council Member. Yes, it's been quite a week in terms of traffic safety. We've had 3 unfortunate incidents within the past 10 days take place in our city, 2 of which involved pedestrians and 1 also involved a bicycle. Ironically, this is National Bicycle Safety Month, and our department is involved in a lot of special operations focusing on enforcement for those types of violations that are dangerous for pedestrians or bicycles. That's a point of emphasis for the month, but there's some things out there. I guess this could be the moment for a very brief public service announcement about bicycle and pedestrian safety. Is that, you know, we really encourage our, well, starting with our drivers to drive more responsibly. We did a Facebook Live event on the 6th of May that we talked a lot about some of the traffic issues, but some of the tips that we want to really continue to reinforce to our public: drivers, follow the speed limit. This is an issue, and we do our best to enforce this, but you do see people driving fast, and people need to be more mindful about that. Bicyclists, obey the traffic laws. Oftentimes we see bicyclists going the wrong way, like northbound in the southbound lanes, eastbound in the westbound lanes, and that's very, very dangerous as well. At night, we encourage them to have lights, reflectors, wear helmets, things like that, so that help them to be seen. Pedestrians, you know, do your best to understand the environment when you're crossing the street. Not just looking both ways, but trying to make eye contact with drivers when you see them. So hopefully this trend reverses itself, but you know, my prediction, my opinion on this is that you know, everybody needs to be more careful. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Because this is an unagendized item, we're not able to engage in any conversation or discussion.
Can I share two items?
I'm sorry, sir?
Can I thank the Chief?
If we can keep it real brief.
Chief, thank you so much. And like, you know, you said, you know, the pedestrians need to pay attention, and also the bicyclists and the people that are texting in their cars. But thank you, because we've had quite a few accidents, and thank you and your men did a really good job, and that article came out of B that was excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, it takes us to item C, consent agenda. And the only item in the consent agenda is the minutes of the previous meeting. Have the members had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Member Madrigal, a second by Member Zaragoza. Please vote.
Thank you. Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, it takes us to item D1. Cultural and Community Service Department, subject is agreement with the Hueneme High School District, or Hueneme School District, for the operations of the after-school education and safety grant. And the recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee recommend that council approve and authorize the mayor to execute a one-year agreement, A as in Adam 8551, and memorandum of understanding, A as in Adam 8552, with the Wainimi Elementary School District for the city of Oxnard to receive the total amount not to exceed $2,225,621.70. And I'll pontificate a little bit. It always amazes me when we're talking about millions of dollars, we got to make sure we got 70 cents in there. So, but round numbers would have worked fine for me. To operate the after-school education and safety program at 10 schools with a city match of $54,000 of in-kind services. In compliance with Measure M, there was a pre-recorded presentation on the city's YouTube channel. And Terrell Harrison is here to answer any questions. Does the committee members have any questions or comments?
I just, Mr. Chairman, just to commend Mr. Harrison, his staff is here today, and my understanding is, if I read this, I'm not sure if it was Oxnard Elementary or Wainimi, that you've helped 1,900 students, is that correct?
So, Chairman McDonald, committee member Zaragoza, yes, that is for one program.
For one program?
For one program. Wainimi is first, in which we're dealing with right now. And then afterwards, we will deal, and we have a contract with Oxnard. It's 10 schools with a Wainimi Elementary and 20 with the Oxnard School District.
And Mr. Harrison, the $54,000 in kind, it's just for your folks to help out and help with the setting up of programs, or?
Yes, there's a number of different ways we calculate that or can do that through facility, through facility and just a number of things, my time. The staff that work directly are dedicated to the program are charged directly to the program.
And I love the program because talk about education literacy elements, what are really, really important for our youth. And thank again, I know I see your staff here today, and thank you for being here today, so. Are you guys being punished, or you have to be here to support them? Thank you, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you. I brought the experts with me.
Thank you.
Member Montreal, any comment?
Just real quickly, thank you. It's a wonderful program. I've never been to the one with Wainimi Elementary, but I've been to a few of the Oxnard School District events, and they're always very well organized and a great turnout. And you could tell that the people who work there truly do love their job of helping out our youth. So thank you.
Yes, and we'll have to invite you to some of the Wainimi ones. They have excellent programming also.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you very much. I agree with the program. I think it's phenomenal. It exposes our folks to potentially another career path in the education business. And, they're forming and shaping the leaders of our future. So it's well worth the investment. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Chair McDonald,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Speakers.
Mayor, you're supposed to remind me of that.
I did.
there are no speakers virtually or in person for this item.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this item to send to the city council.
Okay.
Second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion by Member Zaragoza, a second by Member Madrigal. Please vote.
Thank you. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much. That takes us to item number 2. Cultural and Community Services Department. Subject is agreement with the Oxnard High School District for the operations of the after-school education and safety grant. And the recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee recommends the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute a one-year agreement, parentheses, A as in Adam 8550, with the Oxnard School District for the city to receive an amount not to exceed $4,590,000 to operate the after-school education and safety program with a city match of $130,000 of in-kind services. Okay. Consistent with Measure M, there was a pre-recorded presentation on the city's YouTube channel. And I apologize, I paused for a little bit, making sure that the agreement number was correct, because we had similar agreements in the other one, so. And Mr. Harrison is here to answer any committee
Yeah,
questions or
I have a
comments.
couple of questions. I am, again, this is 2,200 students. And Mr. Harrison, it says 18 to 25, so I graduated at 25. You still have people at 25. Is that correct?
It's,
The ages of the students, or maybe
the ages of the students, that is, the 18 to 25 describes the majority of the employees that we employ to work in that.
Okay, see, I misread that. Because, wait a minute, I graduated at 25 from high school. So. But again, reading that, it says, that it's a safety program. And the annual art gala, that's part of the program, and also working with the water department on the contest with the water department, and also with the insect festival that the city manager started, so we have to eat grasshoppers again. And of course, the cleanup programs, which are really, really important. So again, the 130,000 in kind is basically what you mentioned before. That's correct.
Correct.
Good?
Montreal, any comments, questions?
No, I said them at the last one. Good, thank you.
I have no comments or questions. What's the pleasure of the
Chair
committee?
McDonald,
I know, I did it. It's 2 in a row. I'm batting 1,000 here.
we have no speakers virtually or in person for this item.
I'm gonna get you a little red or green paddle, so you can hold up red for no speakers, green for yes speakers. And that way you can remind me, or throw a tomato at me and remind me, or something like that. But what's the pleasure of the committee?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion by Member Madrigal and a second by Member Zaragoza. Please vote.
Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, thank you very much. Takes us to item number 3, City Attorney Department. Presentation of options regarding tobacco retailer licenses. And the recommendation is that the committee conduct a study session and direct staff to present to City Council with the following options regarding tobacco retailer licenses. 1, establish a cap on the number of tobacco retailer licenses issued in the city without exceptions. 2, establish a cap on the number of tobacco retailer licenses issued in the city with certain exceptions. Or 3, do not establish a cap on the number of tobacco retailer licenses issued in the city. And consistent with Measure M, there was a pre-recorded presentation on the city's YouTube channel. And we have staff here available to speak if there are any questions, but I'm gonna ask our city manager to come and do some opening comments on this.
Thank you, Chair McDonald. So this is an item that actually goes back a little ways. I started this conversation with then Police Chief Scott Whitney over our frustrations, specifically with the vast and readily available and conveniently available vaping products to youth. So we started this discussion back in 2019, and of course, we had a different pandemic to deal with in between. So we've recently brought this back to the forefront. I'm going to just provide a broad overview, and then I'll hand it back over to our staff for specific questions. So we don't have a cap right now for for tobacco outlets the way we have for alcohol, and especially the way we have for cannabis. I think it's obvious to recognize that we should have learned all the important lessons from the tobacco industry, what I would call tobacco 1.0, so that we should be better at dealing with tobacco industry 2.0. It took this society quite a long time to come to terms with the negative health impacts of smoking cigarettes. And we're being, I believe, too slow in addressing a similar public health crisis in a modern technology and delivery system of vaping, and especially all the the research and the work that's out there with regard to the very, very specific targeting of youth. So broadly speaking, so what I would recommend so that we don't fall too far behind here is that we do establish a cap, and I would recommend option 2. And I will also go as far as say to have the discussion be recommending option 2 with the number of 100 outlets going forward, and then our staff can answer questions about how that would occur and what the various exceptions would be. So I hope that helps provide a broader context than what you've seen in the staff report.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, I know we did receive some written communications which have been provided to council. Do we have any requests to speak on this item?
Chair McDonald, there's no public speakers virtually or in person for this item.
Okay. And legal counsel is here to answer any questions, if we have any.
I was just reading the staff report, that it's really horrifying to read that 8 million people die a year from cancer globally. And what was it, 480,000 here in the U.S., and 1/3 of those cancer. I mean, that's horrendous, just really, really horrible to hear those statistics. And it happens, and I see many advertisements in the news and the TV, that people that have cancer and so forth. But I think we definitely need to do something with retailers here in Oxnard, So I do, hear the excellent report anyway, by the way, on this. My understanding that we have about 154 retailers here in Oxnard.
Yes, and I'd like to point out that moving forward with this, it wouldn't be revoking permits. It would be simply setting a cap, and when those permits no longer moved forward for whatever reason, unless they met one of the exceptions, there would be no new permit offered until we got down to whatever the cap is.
The other question I had is option 2 has, and I was looking at it, that, for example, if option 2 is taken, that the retailer that holds a permit can then go ahead and then hand over that license to the relatives. Is that correct?
Yes, there was various exceptions that during my review of similar ordinances, one of the attachments was from San Francisco, and they had many different exceptions built into their ordinance for similar kinds of situations. So a lot of those were included, but there is an option to do even more exceptions. With the kind of goal of this is here for San Francisco, it really went towards fairness of, okay, if there was an individual where there was someone that passed away, or they thought that they were going to be able to bring this establishment to one of their children as kind of a retirement plan. Those are things that San Francisco encountered and built into their exceptions.
And I think they also talk about potentially that a spouse or domestic or partner can then acquire the permit also.
Yes, there are exceptions for that as well. And again, that would be an exception to the overall cap of, for instance, if we move forward with 100, that would be an exception in that
As
case.
an example, yeah. So,
You're good?
yeah, I'm good.
Member Montreal, any comment or questions?
Just a few comments, no real questions. I'm okay with this. One thing, similar to when we went through with the dispensaries, is the growing black market that'll come from this. I know, working in education for a while, how easy it is for teenagers to, they're going to be able to get vapes regardless of how many shops we do have. I know this is well intended, and it's specifically targeting a particular group audience to try to get them to obviously not smoke, but when they can get on their phone and within 5 minutes, someone's literally ringing their doorbell. And with a cashless society that that group has, like, we're doing something good, but at the same time, we are not doing something good because I'm not saying that those people who go and deliver this are all good people. Some of them are well-intentioned and obviously will sell the correct product. Other people are not going to be selling the correct product. And we may have issues in the future of, well, someone vaped something that wasn't supposed to be there, and we're going to have other issues that come from this decision. And that's actually my only worry about this. Other than that, I'm okay with it.
Okay. I don't have any questions or comments. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Go.
Recommend option 2.
Option 2. I'll second that. So Madam Clerk, we have a motion by Member Madrigal to recommend option 2 to move forward to council, and the seconds by me. Please vote.
Mayor, can I ask, or Mayor Pro Tem, can I ask for clarification? The city manager with option 2 recommended 100 being the cap. Is that what your motion is for, or a different number?
100's fine.
100, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought we,
Thank you for clarification.
Okay. Please vote.
Motion carries 3-0.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Takes us to item E, items for future agendas. Do the members have any requests for future agenda items?
No, I don't.
That will take us to item F. Unless there's an objection, we will adjourn.